Hey there, I'm Evelyn, one of the co-founders here at Skylar. Over the last 18 months, we've been speaking and working with a ton of people like you. Sales coaches, trainers, executive leadership coaches. And we've decided to go on this mission to partner together and help you build and expand and cement your business long term with your clients. Because quite frankly, we believe this is the only effective way in which organizations and individuals and sales reps actually tend to get better. Today, we're going to share with you three things. First, the playbooks. The playbooks, you can think of them as the modern day LMS systems that combine assets like videos and PDFs and other documents, as well as the things that you know and love us for, the role plays, the AI debriefs, the AI tutor. Second, how do you communicate what people should be doing? And we've made this extremely easy way for you to be sending reminders, sharing instructions over email in a very simple manner aligned to your training. And third, how do you use all of that information and data so you can build a nice baseline of where people's skills are before they start training, how they improve over time, and where there are still gaps that you can help and build future work upon. So let's get right into it. I'm very excited. So we've built here this playbook, initial starting playbook. This is based on the Medic, I believe. Yeah, it's a Medic playbook. And we're going to go and see a few things around how we can construct and build this around what you are training people on today. Okay, so I'm going to go into the admin view. I've already decided that for this client, even though medic starts with an M, we want actually the first module that they see, we want that to be based on identifying pain. Okay, so I've set this up to be the first topic. I can easily switch it back to be one of the later topics. One thing that maybe I do want to do is have people only be able to access things incrementally. So they must have completed module 1 for them to see module 2. So I will go in here and I'll make sure this is checked. And I'll click on apply. Maybe I don't want people to access topic 2 up until a certain day, even if they have completed topic 1. So I'll set this up from here. I want them to start accessing topic 2 not before the 31st of August. I'm gonna save this. And okay, now let's go into the actual topic that we want to prepare and the journey we want to create. So at the moment, we only have a couple of things here. We have a small guide that we created in place, and we have a PDF for people to read around implicating pain. We're going to create this journey based on the live training that this team is going to have. So let's assume in a couple of days, they're going to have a workshop with us. And we want to create a couple of pieces for them to look at, but also do before the training. Then during the workshop, we're going to enable a couple of other role plays. And then after the training, we're going to reinforce with more practice, more things for them to learn and read. And again, a little bit more practice. So we're going through really what all of us will consider the best practices for people learning, which is around reinforcement, around putting things into practice. And we're going to do it in a very simple for our clients way, where they just need to come in and do things sequentially and click things in a very simple manner and fashion. Okay, so I'm going to start by editing the playbook. I already have our guide. I just want to add our live training because our live workshop is probably the core of this journey. So I'm going to build a live event. This is going to be identifying pain workshop, and this starts on the Tuesday and it finishes on Thursday. Now, if this were to be a live event, you don't need to enter anything here, but maybe it's a couple of Zoom calls, you can enter the URL here so people have this one link from which they can view everything. Oh, I need a little bit of a description. Live event covering identify pain. There we go. Now, one thing I do want everyone to do before the workshop is to complete at least one role play so we can figure out where people stand. We put everyone in the same environment, same scenario, where we really want to test how well they can identify pain today. So I've already built a role play on that, and I'm going to add it as a module for people to complete. Pre-workshop roleplay, and the one I've set up is the diagnose phase collaborative. So we're going to give them an easy one before, just so we can measure where they stand. Okay, and I can have this as a voice or a video roleplay. This one is going to be a voice one, and we're going to make this available a day before. Okay, I'm gonna save. Everything is now live. You can see here. Well, actually, I did make a little bit of a mistake, didn't I? I made the pre-workshop roleplay only after the actual workshop. So let me go ahead and change that. Okay, I just moved it up. And there we go. So the roleplay is not available until the 17th. That also doesn't seem very correct, does it? Let me go back. We actually want that roleplay to be available immediately. So I'm going to come in here and just clear everything. Okay, so now if I was a learner, there we go. I can do everything from the very get-go. And one thing we're gonna do now is we are setting up some practice sessions during the workshop. Now, let me go on the admin view. And probably during the workshop, we want to give them the same role play as they had before, because now if we assume that they're going to do this role play after they've heard a little bit from you, they're going to have some more information and they can go with fresh eyes and ears completing that practice session. So I'm going to set this up again. I'm going to make this same role play, the easy one, available as a voice role play during workshop. But I don't want to stop here. So once the live event is over, we want to build this reinforcement. And we're going to do that in a way that I've seen to be quite effective, which is put people into a practice session which is more challenging than what they previously experienced. So they have something new, but something even more challenging. They're probably going to score not so good. If we have to be honest, if you've just heard about something for the first time, or if you're hearing something new and you've only gotten to practice it once or twice, you're not going to be great at it. So we're going to put them in a tough situation. They're probably not going to get scored very well, but we are going to give them the keys We are gonna give them the reminders after their first role play, and we're gonna let them do it again. So let's go here. I'm going to create 2 role plays. Role play 1. In here, I'm going to start with the advanced. And then after they've completed the first one, we're going to build this answers PDF. Okay, and I've got this link with the PDF. And we're going to have the same role play again after they've seen the keys to success. Role play 2. There we go. I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna go back to the learner's view. So this is what we expected they're going to see. They're gonna come, and as part of their journey, they need to complete a few things before, and then everything else unlocks on certain days after they completed the previous activity. So super simple to figure out. Everyone knows where they stand, and we've built this cutting edge learner's journey where we combined the live training from you and a bunch of practice with feedback, reflection, and assessment. So we've now built this module. Everything is done. People can come in and from one place, they can figure out everything. I'm gonna go into the learner's view again. Everything is clear. You just need to go through things step by step. I can see when the rest of the things are gonna be available. Now, even when we make it so easy, people always get confused. They forget that they have to do X before the workshop. They forget where they need to go. So the simplest thing we can do is send them a few reminders. Give them the link directly. Make sure that they all are well informed. They can come to this one place and do everything. So how do we do that? I'm gonna go back to our admin view. I'm gonna click on manage emails. And I'm gonna set a few emails. The first email I'm gonna set is a reminder a few days before the workshop for them to go and complete all of their pre-assigned reading, to complete their role plays, so we can then go and see the analysis. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to find our workshop. So it starts on the 18th, and I'm going to set up an email one day before the event starts. It's going to be called reminder about pre-workshop. I can see what the email is going to look like. I can test and send that email over to myself if I want to view it, but it will render exactly what you see, and I'm going to go and schedule that. So now everybody that's part of this team is going to receive this email one day before the workshop starts. Now, what was the other thing we spoke about? What was the other thing we have here? So after the workshop, we have a few role plays and reading, etc. So I'm going to create another email to be sent to everyone just actually before those new modules become available, that new role play become available. So 1 minute before they become available, we're gonna send them a note saying that these new role plays are available. And again, very simple for them to do. They will just receive an email. You need to click on this one link, one button, and off they go, and they can start doing things. so nobody gets confused about anything. The hard parts really should be around the practice, about getting better, about looking at their feedback, not about when and where they should be clicking. Now, let's say we have a fantastic group and they've all completed all training before the workshop. So no need for us to send them a reminder. I'm going to come back here, and this email that was supposed to come before the live event starts, I'm going to delete that scheduled email. Okay? But let's say that I'm in a situation where I don't quite remember. I have 5 teams. Each of the teams have different things scheduled. I want to see it all from one place. I can just click on manage all emails, and this will take me right to the menu where I can see everything that's being scheduled and hasn't been sent yet. Or I can look at the history, or I can look at the templates, etc. So the third thing I want to share today is something that you might have seen already. If we think about the way we set up this training, we have asked people to complete a role play before they actually come into the live workshop. So we're going to take the analysis and all of the data around their current baseline. We're going to have that analyzed. So this serves as a baseline for us to see how people are improving. But we can also use that information to tailor the workshop to be more specific to the group that we're teaching. So I'm going to go into my team, click into team analysis, where Skylar has generated a report for this team on the practice sessions they have completed up to date. And this report is with some mock data just for demonstration purposes, but we can see a heat map of where people are strong or not so strong. This is using the GROW methodology. I can come in and see the individuals, where are they particularly strong at, where they're not so strong, the calls that are basing this analysis on. Probably the thing that you would use the most here would be the Ask Skylar pop-up, which essentially gives you Skylar to be your partner in constructing the session. So I can come in here and I can ask Skylar, please tell me what I can focus the beginning of my workshop with this team. And what Skylar is going to do now is read through and listen all of the conversations that have happened as part of this. And is going to go and analyze each individual conversation or each of the assessment ratings for that conversation, and is going to give us a summarized analysis of where we can focus our time. So there we go. Here's a solid opening focus for your workshop based on what's showing up. Lead with the options gaps is the single biggest lever. And just like that, we have this analysis that quite frankly would have been impossible for us to do before, because we wouldn't be in a situation where we could figure out everyone in the same scenario, how they perform, how they have the same baseline. But even if we did have that, it would be very hard to analyze that information. But we have it all here in one place. Okay, so with that, these are the 3 things I wanted to share with you today. So first, the playbooks, how we can have this one place from where we can see everything and people can access everything, and they can have this one cohesive journey combining live training and live sessions with AI, with regular digital training, videos, PDFs, etc. Number 2, managing that communication around that journey. So emails before, reminder emails, emails after. And number 3, how we can leverage that information so that we can get a great baseline of where people stand. We can make the live training session be much more useful, and then we can look at the results at the end and maybe make further recommendations into where you as a coach can put more effort in the future. Thank you so much. I'll speak to you soon.